Welcome to the Women Talk Construction podcast. I am here today with Angela Gardner again, and we are excited to interview another amazing guest. This one's a little different. We wanted to hear from some of the younger people in the industry that are doing background work that are making our industry move forward. So today we have invited Claire Reffitt from Deborah Bradley Construction. And if all of you listeners have been listening to every episode, her boss, Deborah Bradley, was also on our podcast. And what they're doing in New York is amazing. What I love about Claire is the ability to adapt and be able to keep the projects moving within their company. It's a very large company. They are very, they're doing a lot of projects at one time. They have several staff members, and Claire is really the executive assistant to the president, which is Deborah Bradley.
And they're in New York City, right?
They are in New York City.
I mean, that's a pretty big
It's a big area. Yeah. And Deborah's story alone, if you haven't heard it, listeners, you need to go back and listen to it. Her story alone is mind blowing, just to hear where she came from and how she got to where she's at today, which is one of the leading construction companies in New York City. Mm-hmm. So the reason, one of the many reasons I wanted Claire to be on today, Claire and I worked together on a nonprofit mission as well. And Claire is so good at supporting people and giving them the wisdom they need to be better at their jobs. And with her being so young, we thought it would be really incredible for you to hear how she does it, why it matters to her, and why she wanted to be on the podcast today. So Claire, welcome. Thank you for being here. I wanted to make sure I did a great shout out for you because I think you're an amazing human and even greater worker for our industry, making our industry move forward. And that's what we like to talk about on the podcast. So tell us just a little bit about what you do day to day, just a little.
Oh, thank you, Christi. Thank you, Angela. I'm very happy and excited to be here. So hello, my name is Claire Reffitt, obviously. So I'm Deborah Bradley's executive assistant out of New York City. We are a general contractor, electrical contractor, and we're going into resiliency. And I work under Deborah, but also a little bit of everything around the company. So I consider myself the office manager, IT department. I help out human resources, accounting, a little bit of everything. And what I think is so great about that is you're doing a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I like to know the ins and the outs, who's doing what projects we're on, how we can work efficiently. And especially in this day and age, everything is moving so quickly, everything is so new and things are changing every day. So it's fun to be a part of that and growing as a human and making the company grow all together as well.
Well, you're doing a great job, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
So it sounds to me like you're wearing a lot of hats. How does that feel? Is it boring to you if you're not switching gears during the day?
I think I thrive in chaos, 100%. My brain is always going. It stimulates my brain to learn things, to do things, and I need to know the science behind it. When I'm reading directions and you see the pictures of this plugging into this or this needs to happen, I need to know the why, because that's how you get your purpose. You need to know how you're getting there, why you're getting there. So it's fun with a company, especially construction. I have a math background. One of those things where I didn't know what I wanted to do growing up, but I love numbers and I love math and I love logic. And now that I'm in construction, that's all of that. And then some. Yes. And then I get to do my little organizing and dealing with a little bit of everything.
Wow. Well, AI certainly won't be taking your job.
No.
And
I have thought that I was like, oh, could it?
No. You're doing a lot of thinking and navigating, and that leads into my next question: is how how do you manage it all? Because it's very important I know when I was new into the industry, and I'm saying just into the workforce, and same with Christy. I mean, you're thrown into situations, but
Mhm.
it might be different depending on like what role you take on. And you seem to have taken on uh a very flexible but very tasking role too. How do you manage that as a young professional? Because I'm sure there's other listening that would love to hear advice.
Um, so it has definitely taken me a while, and I'm still learning every day. Prioritizing is really important.
Mhm.
And to-do lists. I'm a very pen and paper kind of person, and checking those things off. And every day I write a new one, and whatever is most important, that's always at the top. And sometimes it's hard because one day you'll be in the middle of that really important task, and something comes in and you have something due in 2 hours that's going to take 4 hours. So you really have to pick and choose your battles. And I'm still learning with it to this day, but I maybe haven't even gotten a good grip on it until last year. And I've been with the company for 3.5 years.
I'm
Um,
still getting a grip
but
on that.
exactly. And
35 years in.
I'm like, AI will put my list together. And I'm like, I hate the way AI put my list together, and I still can't retain the information. So we're writing my list again.
Writing, me too. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I love it. So that's great, like how you're managing it. And I think sometimes there are days that you manage it and then other days it manages you.
Oh
Do you ever
yeah.
feel that way? Yeah. Um,
The silent drive homes.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about how are you getting your team to adapt to all the transitions and technology and just the day-to-day changes, right? We wake up some mornings and the whole thing's changed, right? Like either laws are changed or, you know, participation percentages on projects you've already bid have changed and you might lose that job. At Deborah Bradley Construction is a woman-owned business. So how do you get your team to pivot when you have to pivot quickly, depending on whatever that it could be anything, right? AI, technology, they've never used a spreadsheet before. How do you get them engaged in getting them on board with what could make them better and be more efficient when they don't want to?
So this is something that we've recently gotten into heavily. So I do run our technology and AI committee. And just last week, I had my first workshop. And again, we need to keep up with the technology, and everyone uses Microsoft. And instead, we're a big company and we do a lot of work in New York City, but we're not the giant general contractors that have unlimited money to spend on
Right.
softwares to do that we might have to use on one project. So it's more of utilizing what we have. And everyone we're all using Microsoft accounts, so
Mhm.
start by using those accounts. And we have employees who are just fresh out of college. We have employees that have been there for 25 years. So the tech knowledge is what's the word I'm looking for? Like so big.
It
Um,
is.
so, so my first workshop last week, I started with the basics, and it's how to. Copilot's a huge thing now for our note taking and all of those things, and so it's start with the basics and seeing what works for us, because what works for me might not work for the person in the next desk to me or someone out in the field. So it's more of teaching everyone the basics. So hopefully they want to take a grasp and learn with it. I do think right now it's the note-taking ability and automatically going in everyone's emails. It has been very beneficial. I have a lot of trust issues. I do not trust it as much as a lot of other people do, but I do think it's a wonderful resource. And I'm an executive assistant. I started writing all my notes. I'm a pen and paper person. I was writing, I was typing, and I'm typing while they're talking about the next topic that I have to remember, or I do
Right.
my short notes, and it's so difficult. So adapting with that, with the company, and then with the projects, the same thing. It's using what is best for a certain person, and it's really just trial and error. And you realize that with everyone, it's just trial and error.
Yeah.
And we're
true.
picking the people in the company who are interested in this at this time, and we're kind of just trial and erroring it for now, and hoping it will. And I think it definitely will help us out in the long run.
Well, I think you just offered a lot of advice. There's a lot of
Mhm.
small companies out there that are doing just
Yeah.
what you're doing, so you're not alone.
It's hard. It's really
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
and
Now,
expensive.
Yes, there's that.
yeah. Okay, Claire. We know that this is your first podcast, right? And first
Yes, it
show.
is.
So we are hoping to get more young people either in the
Mhm.
field or in this profession on our show, or just in any role that wants to share a story on the show. Tell us how we're making you feel. This is a really out there question. We've never done this, but you're going to be like our little testimonial to get some more young folks on. How do you feel doing this right now? Are you comfortable? Is
I'm
this pretty cool? Are you getting to share some great advice?
I'm actually having a really good time, and you two are so fun. From the minute I met you guys, you're both great, and I'm very comfortable. I
Well,
will
Bob,
say I had the jitters all week up until today, but no, this is so fun. And
real good. Okay.
as a young person, we're so intimidated going. I'm almost 30 years old. I grew up, like you're so official, and you always have respect to those above you, but you
Mhm.
also need to have respect for yourself. And you guys make this. This is what's the word I'm looking for. This is professional, and this is also respectful, and it's also fun. Like
Yeah.
growing up, my perception of like corporate America or like the real world is like official, suits all the time. And there are situations where that is the case, but it's not as all like you're just living your life and we're having fun with this. Like it's not all that serious.
Well,
Yeah.
and we have been together at an event. That's why we
Yes.
all met. Well,
Yes,
I met
yes.
her for the first time there, and I
Yeah.
think we had some fun,
Yeah, we
right?
had a
Yeah,
great
we did have a
time.
blast. We did
Like
have a blast.
you can having fun and being serious can coexist.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Well, I think,
And progress.
something that you said that really resonated with me is I think the difference between I think people put professionalism in a box by itself,
Yes.
and then authenticity and vulnerability only live at home. Right.
Mhm.
And I think that's what Angela and I have always wanted to bring to this podcast is the professionalism, the authenticity, and the vulnerability so that people can hear real time stories about whether or not they want to pursue a career in the construction industry. And I think that makes a huge difference, right? If you just show up and say all the proper things to say, you're not going to encourage somebody to consider the industry. You've got to share some of your authentic, experiences and be vulnerable about, what's hard and what's been great and fun. And honestly, like for me, like I was a single mom when I fell into the industry, and being able to pay my bills without working 3 jobs was the key.
Mhm.
And I didn't care how anybody talked to me, whether it was a girl or a boy. I was making good money and I didn't have to work 3 jobs anymore.
Exactly.
So it was like, some of these people have a lot of, stories, and I have those stories, but it just wasn't my focus. My focus was, I love being in this industry. I love my job, and I'm making really good money. So you're not going to have everything everywhere, but I do think us being vulnerable and being authentic about what we do have to endure, or we do get to endure, I think is important. So thank you
It
for
makes it
sharing that.
real.
Yeah, it does. I'm glad that you feel comfortable.
Oh no, this is great.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations or words of advice for any young professionals like trying to just make it in the world and dealing with managing a tough schedule like you do,
Mhm.
or
Everybody's schedule.
yeah.
She manages everybody's schedule.
How many people are at your company? Say that again.
We have because we have like in office staff between in office and the field about a little over 50, and then we have our union laborers and stuff
And you're
like
dealing with all of them.
that. Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And it's fun. It's like everyone knows everybody.
It's a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I could sense that when we were there
It's
and met you
oh
all.
yes. Oh yes. We have our good group. And again, like when you know everyone, when you're authentic, and when you know people's stories, and they tell you like not to share all this kind of stuff at work, and you're fully in charge of what you share.
Right.
So you make your own personality. I am 100% not the person I was when I started this job, but I also didn't like who I was when I started this job that I've learned now. Some advice that I could tell people, young people, is I still don't know what I want to do, and that might be cliche, but I'm learning every single day. When I first started this job, I was like, why didn't I go to engineering? Like I'm a math major. I didn't want to be a teacher. But every person, every event that I go to, like you meet new people, you get new experiences. And when you go to these people, you could be so intimidated, like, oh, I've seen them in a magazine, or I've seen them on a panel, and everyone is just a person, and they probably feel exactly how you feel in that moment going up to them. And showing up and communicating and just saying hi. Just saying hi, introducing yourself can get you so far. And just people remember faces. People remember when you speak up, and don't be afraid to speak up. We're very intimidated. I've worked especially with organization with Christi. Like it's always people that are older than me, and I've learned that me being my age, I grew up in a different time, and I have different perspectives of things. And sometimes that just needs to be shared. People going against your idea, again, they just don't know the why of why you want to do this. So sometimes a little bit additional explaining can go a long way.
And it means a lot. Not to everybody. Sorry, Michael. It means a lot to I know not to everybody, because some people are just really set in their ways, but people like Angela and I, we want to hear everybody's perspectives, right? We only get better if we hear from people that are not like us. So I love that you said that. And I think that's important for the next generation to hear.
I have a previous coworker that used to work with us. The one, I'll never forget this. She said to me, like, your great idea and my great idea together make the best idea. And it's so true. It really is so true. Like no competition. Like there's so much competition out there between women, between companies, and it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It's you, yourself, your company, what you're working for, and if you think it will be.
Yeah. All right. One more question before we have to say goodbye. Tell the audience one thing about you that most people don't know.
Most people don't know. Are we talking about like all listeners?
Whatever. Yeah. Just something unique that's about you that you love, or something you love, or you enjoy doing, a hobby or whatever.
Okay, so I grew up with two deaf parents, so they can't hear, and I am an only child. So I used to be like really self-conscious about it, because now that I'm older, like most people are not only children. And I used to be like so upset about it, and even having deaf parents, I felt really lonely. But as I've grown up and turned into an adult, it's kind of like my superpower.
Nice.
I can do everything alone. I can eat by myself alone, but it's really just taught me to like sit with myself and just learn myself as a human. And that's really important. And I feel like you don't learn that until you get a little bit older.
Wow. There's
thank you for
vulnerability
at
its finest.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we love you, Claire.
Yes,
I love you guys.
I mean, I've only met you once, and then here on the show, you're just very special. And guess what? It's how you make people feel that they remember you. And that's how you made me feel at that event. And even now. So thank you for being on the show. And
thank you guys.
Share with our audience. So great. I know. Share with our audience how they can find you and ask you any questions.
You can go ahead and message me on LinkedIn.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, and if you can't find her there, you can go to our website and click the button and go
Yeah.
in there.
And if you are in New York City and you are looking for a contractor to do work with,
Yes.
please reach out to Deborah Bradley.
Yes.
Deborah Bradley Construction.
Yes.
Thank you, Claire, for being
dbcnewyork.com.
here.
Thank you guys so much.